My goal today is to work on this vineyard back here. I want to suppress all of those weeds that are growing up in between the vines and get some nice wood chips down. But in order to do that, I'm going to start by putting my cardboard base. If we come in closer, you can see I have started to do a bit of work in this area. So I already have some cardboard down, and then I've just thrown some pine needles on top of this. And that was just to help suppress the weeds at the moment around the grapevine. Now, if we have a look underneath here, everything kind of around this, you can see where the cardboard actually was. So it's actually all green, but underneath where the cardboard was, it's all dead, or dying, I should say. So with that layer of cardboard, it just kills all of the weeds or anything that would be growing underneath the cardboard and stops all of those weeds from shooting up right along our grapevines. The cardboard boxes will eventually break down and go back into the soil because the earthworms love these. So that's why I'm then topping them with, in this case, I have some pine needles down, but I also had some wood chips dropped off, and I'm going to use those now to do the whole area where our grapevines are. So then that way we don't have to worry about when the grapevines kind of hang down that we're weed whacking them and losing potential fruit. You can use cardboard to suppress weeds like I am with the grapevines, but you can also use it to create new garden beds. Now, the weeds here were just as stubborn as they were around the grapevines, and what I've done is I have a garden frame set up. I put double layer of cardboard on the bottom here, and then I just topped it with some nice soil. So in my garden beds, I do make sure that I am using a double layer of cardboard because I'm putting some good soil on top of it, and I don't want any chance that the weeds are just going to come up through my new garden beds. Now, this is another case in which you can use that cardboard to help you. So at one point I had some bare ground here that I knew I wanted to turn into a new garden bed, but just haven't really had the chance to do. It's honestly not very high on my to-do list. So what I decided to do, so I didn't create more of a mess and have all weeds start to grow from here, I decided to cover this with some cardboard. Now this cardboard has been out here for 6 months. This is only a single layer of cardboard, and it's doing quite a good job still. You can see that there are spots where, you know, it's been walked on or it's starting to break down, and there are weeds starting to grow through. It obviously is at the point where I need to either cover this up again with another layer of cardboard or come through and weed what's here so it doesn't get out of control. But 6 months just bare on the ground, it's done really, really well to keep all the weeds out. This, of course, doesn't help, having your dog come in and dig part of it up. But as you can see, under what he's just dug up, no weeds, except for maybe just this one little vine that's trying to survive that is very weak. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can do this when you're laying down the cardboard. You can either decide to weed first or just leave it as it is. So often I weed out the tough weeds first and then cover it with cardboard. But in this case here with the grapevines, there is way too much going on. There are way too many weeds, way too much grass. So I'm just going to put my cardboard down and put my wood chips on top and just suppress that. Once I've created my beds or my pathways with the cardboard and then layering it with soil or mulch on top, I haven't had any trouble with weeds coming up through them, and I've had many of them down for over a year or a year and a half now and haven't had to deal with any weeds. But it is a possibility that some of those tougher weeds could still come through, but so long as you have 6 to 12 inches of either soil or wood chips on top of your cardboard, there shouldn't be any weeds that are strong enough to wait it out underneath that cardboard until it breaks down, and then also have enough energy to still go up through that much soil or wood chips. They do need light to survive, so I find it hard to believe that they would be able to make it through all of that. You do have to remember though that if you are using wood chips, they will also break down. So you need to be aware that you'll have to refresh those every year or couple years just to make sure that you're keeping a nice pathway and it's not turning into just muddy soil. So that's all there really is to it. We put down our couple layers of cardboard, we put our mulch or our soil on top, and then we can just either plant into it or use it as a pathway. But that's it for today, guys. Stay tuned for our next quick tip tomorrow, and I'll catch you here back at the Gumboot garden. Bye, guys.